What's up, everyone? My name is Destiny. I run the brand called EatYoDestiny, where I teach people how to use the resources around them to make delicious, cheap, accessible vegan meals. So today I'm going to be talking all about being vegan on a budget and meal planning. I've been vegan since 2018, and initially I went vegan for health reasons, but it quickly turned into the bigger picture, which is the fact that it's helping my health, it's helping the environment, and it's also helping the animals. Today we're going to talk all about being vegan on a budget and how to meal plan. A lot of people ask me, how exactly do I meal plan? So for me, it takes 4 different steps. And it might seem like it's a little bit tedious, but honestly, once you start doing it, it becomes routine. The 4 steps that I take are 1, audit, 2, plan, 3, shop, and 4, prep. For me, a pantry audit means me looking through my pantry, refrigerator, and freezer and noting all the things that I have, writing down some of the things that I want to use up before they expire, and some of the things that I haven't tried in a while. A lot of times when you shop your pantry first, you will spend less money at the supermarket because you're planning the meals around the things that you already have. And that brings me to step number 2, which is planning. A lot of times I'll look through my pantry, refrigerator, and freezer and see what exactly it is that I have so that I can look up recipes that revolve around those ingredients. And then some of the extra ingredients I might need are the ones that I will add to my shopping list and I will buy for the week. After you've done your audits and you've done your meal planning and research phase, now it's time to make your list. And honestly, this is probably the easiest part of the whole plan. You're seriously just gonna write down the ingredients that you don't have that you need to make the meals for the next week. And this makes the shopping experience way easier because you can just go in and out of the store. And I mean, if you wanna add extra things in your cart, that's okay too, but making a list makes your grocery shopping experience way easier and cheaper. I have my favorite 5 supermarkets that I frequent, and I will go to a supermarket for specific ingredients. So if I'm making my meal plan and I realize that there are a lot of Asian inspired dishes, I might want to go to my local Asian supermarket. If I'm making a meal plan for that week and there's more Latinx inspired dishes, I might go to my Latinx supermarket. So going to these specific supermarkets definitely keeps your bill lower and you can get all your shopping done in one place. If all you have near you are just generic supermarkets, that's totally fine too. Just make sure that when you're making your ingredients list that you're being true to what you can actually find near you. It's always easy to, order ingredients online or support small businesses, but if you want to keep your shopping experience easy and cheap, you definitely want to be mindful of what the supermarket near you has in stock. The last step to the meal plan is actually meal prepping. So you can do it 2 different ways. You can make a bunch of meals that are the same and eat those throughout the week, or you can prep actual ingredients. For me, prepping the ingredients is way easier because it helps with the cooking process, and I get bored really easily, so I want to make sure that I'm eating different things throughout the week. I like to meal prep things like onions and garlic and maybe bell peppers, sometimes carrots, broccoli, things like that I know I'm going to have to peel and wash and chop and roast or bake or whatever it is. I think that doing this makes the cooking process easier because I'm not spending time preparing all the vegetables. That honestly, preparing the vegetables is one of the most tedious things and takes forever. So doing it ahead of time definitely is helpful. I'm not gonna lie, I don't always meal prep. Sometimes I go to the grocery store, I'll film a grocery haul for my Instagram page, and I don't want anything to do with the food that I just bought. So it's okay, don't beat up yourself if you're going to go shopping and not want to come home and meal prep. You can plan that any other day. You can take 10 minutes out of the day, you can take 30 minutes out of the day. It's totally up to you. Now that we've got the meal planning down, I'm gonna share a couple tips on how to keep your grocery bill super low. Okay, one of the most important things is to make a budget and make a realistic budget for you and your family. So your grocery bill, if you live with one other person, is definitely gonna be different from somebody you found on YouTube who has 5 kids. Be mindful of the amount of people you have in your household, how many times you eat out in a week, and the price of food near you, because all of these things can change what your budget will look like. For my wife and I, we have a very tight grocery budget, but that's because we know what works for us. We know that we are both really good at finding deals and sales and shopping on a very tight budget, and so for you, it might be different. That brings me to my next point, which is finding deals. You do not have to be an extreme couponer or walking down every single aisle of the supermarket in order to find a good deal. There are many ways you can search for deals online. I follow a bunch of Instagram pages that post sales at certain supermarkets. You can also use the app called Flip, F-L-I-P-P, and it basically shows all of the sales circulars in your area in a digital format and allows you to circle the things that you want to buy, and it makes it really easy to go shopping. Finding deals can also just mean buying generic brand items. You do not have to stick to these brands because you grew up eating them. Honestly, when you turn the package around and you look at the ingredients compared to the generic brand, a lot of time the ingredients are the same. So why not just go with the cheaper brand, you know? Another tip I have for, saving money when you're grocery shopping is to buy bulk. And honestly, when I first heard this tip, I was like, that does not work. Like, it did not work for me. And sometimes that's true. What you buy in bulk at your store might be different from what I buy in bulk at my store. So for us, buying things like nutritional yeast and seasonings and hemp hearts are really inexpensive when we buy them in bulk as opposed to buying it in the package. But if we buy things like wild rice or nut butter, sometimes buying bulk is actually a little bit more expensive. So you really just have to get to know your supermarket and figure out what works with you. My last and final tip on how to keep your grocery bill very low is to not discriminate against frozen fruits and vegetables. I don't know why people do that. They think that they're less than, when in actuality, they're better. They're easy to store, they're easy to cook, and they last forever. My freezer has a bunch of frozen fruits for smoothies, frozen vegetables for stir fries, and I have so many canned beans in my pantry, it's not even funny. Like, I cook them every single week. It's easier, I don't have to soak them, and I love it. Just want to take a moment to kind of walk through some ingredients that are really easy, affordable, and make delicious vegan meals. If you find pasta sauce at your local supermarket, grab it and make some spaghetti and meat sauce using mushroom or any other type of meat alternative. You can also find a variety of pizza doughs that are already pre-made and ready for you to put your sauce on and add some vegetables and bake them in the oven. You can also find dried beans that you can soak overnight and make things like tacos or tostadas or anything that involves a bean. And you can also buy things like sauces, which are really great for sandwiches. I hope you all learned something today about meal planning and how to be vegan on a budget. Again, I go by EatYoDestiny on Instagram and all social media platforms. So if you ever have any questions about these specific topics, please feel free to reach out to me. I love talking about food. I love talking about grocery shopping. I post grocery hauls every single week, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all.